Hello friends, I welcome you to EPG Pathshala. My name is Dr. Amit Katoch and I am working as Assistant Professor in University Institute of Hotel and Tourism Management of Punjab University. Dear students, I would be taking the module titled E-Airway Bill in Cargo Operations. Under the paper, Cargo Operations and Management. After completing this module, the students will be able to understand the concept of e-freight, airway bill, shift from paper airway bill to paperless e-airway bill, benefits of e-airway bill over paper AWB, implementation of EAWB and the types of delivery of consignment and working process of EAWB. The module has been divided into the following sections: background of EAWB, types of shipments, concept of e-freight, benefits of EAWB, terminology of EAWB, working of EAWB, implementation of e-airway bill, system integration for e-airway bill, requirements for carrier and forwarder for e-airway bill implementation, EAWB 360 and e-airway bill link. Firstly, I would give general information and background with regard to e-airway bill. All international air cargo consignments each day involve tedious paper documentation. The airway bill, which is also known as air consignment, is a non-negotiable transport paper. It is issued by the carrier directly. In some cases, it may be issued through an authorized agent. An airway bill is among one of the most important documents which states that there is a contract between the freight forwarder, which acts on the behalf of shipper or directly with shipper and airlines. The IATA, that is the International Air Transport Association, developed and designed e-airway bill to replace airway bill in paper in air freight cargo operations by interchanging into electronic data, that is EDI. This airway bill gives freight forwarders, carriers and other concerned authorities a standard for automatic exchange of standardized documents at any airport worldwide operating. Under the new system, the interchanging of EDI messages between the freight forwarder and carrier takes place as per the EAWB agreement of IATA. This initiative of International Air Transport Association, which introduced the concept of e-airway bill, has definitely set the mark, because of which the entire process of supply chain management has become very simplified. In 2010, the Cargo Service Conference adopted the e-airway bill agreement. This agreement was approved by many nations of the world with special endorsement of IATA. With the introduction of e-airway bill, the process of documentation gets more faster, which is helpful for the exporters as well as the importers. The electronic contract of carriage between the carrier and freight forwarder is being allowed faster. The reliability, speed and cost effectiveness are some of the benefits of introducing EAWB in cargo transportation. Data accuracy, efficiency and confidentiality, which were challenges among the logistic industry, EAWB tackles all this with more effectiveness. In other words, it is said that EAWB serves both e-freight and e-cargo vision successfully. The EAWB consists of the Freight Airway Bill and EDI multilateral agreement. As I told that EAWB is an electronic cargo contract that replaces the paper AOA bill. The front face of paper AOA bill is replaced with an electronic message, whereas reverse of it is replaced by EAWB agreement. Before the implementation of E-airway bill, there were the bilateral challenges among different players in the industry. In the year 2010, EDI agreement enabled airlines and freight forwarders to do E-airway bill. This resulted in the number of bilateral agreements which increased exponentially, and the complexity of signing the multitude of agreements slowed down the EAWB adoption among the different players of the industry. IATA gave the multilateral solution for this and developed multilateral EAWB agreement as new IATA resolution 642. The uniqueness of this agreement is any party sign this agreement once, IATA enables that party to do E-airway bill with other parties. For example, an airline once signed can do E-airway bill with all participating freight forwarders and vice versa. This multilateral EAWB contains consent to do EAWB or airway bill, confidentiality, security, right and obligation of parties involved. This does not modify the condition of contract and conditions of carriage. The whole system works in 3 major steps. Step 1, all parties, that is airlines or freight forwarders, join agreement. Step 2, the parties have discussions on start dates and location. One party sends activation notice to other confirming bilaterally decided location and date. Step 3, EAWB starts the operation or the functioning starts. Types of shipments. The various types of shipment are journal cargo, special cargo, dangerous goods, and direct or walk-in shipments. Firstly, I will tell about the journal cargo. Journal cargo or consolidations are those shipments which do not accompany any shipping document. Now I will discuss about the special cargo. Special cargo which involves live animals or perishable require original declaration and health certificates. In these cases, the original documents inside the document pouch must be submitted by the forwarder. Shipper's certificate for live animals is required for live shipment. Dangerous goods. These goods require the original SDDG, that is shipper's declaration for dangerous goods, to be submitted by forwarder in original. Direct or walk-in shipments. All direct or walk-in shipments shall be handled as per the regulations of individual airlines. Now I will discuss about concept of e-freight. In recent past, more than 50% of the global air trade relied on paper-based operations. One shipment involves large number of paper documents followed by several processes. It involves human intervention, more for tracking or tracing, etc. The introduction of e-freight, which has become the industry-wide program which helped to make entire process paperless and less involvement of human beings for simple tasks. The new framework of e-freight covers all domestic as well as international players, whether ground handlers, shippers, freight forwarders, customs authorities, brokers, etc. Prior to e-freight, 3 types of documents were needed to work upon, which on inception of e-freight their relevance had faded up. Customs documents, transport documents, commercial and special cargo documents. Benefits of EAWB. Today, airlines need to flourish the industry by improving all aspects of business from origin and transit to delivery because of the shifts to alternate transport modes, competitive rates, 100 to A ship and rise of drone delivery. Even local customs authorities and governments are also forcing carriers to provide digital information. The introduction of e-airway bill casts so many benefits for all the stakeholders. Some of the major benefits are EAWB or airway bill avoids costly and lengthy discussions for initiation. All parties have a single agreement with IATA which enables them to accept EAWB from all participating players. Operational and technical readiness would decide where and when EAWB should start. Removal of paper airway bill leads to the reduction of cost. E-data has greater accuracy to paper bills. No shipment delay due to loss or missing paper airway bill. All airway bills are available real time for all stakeholders from all locations. Now I will discuss about the various terminologies involved in EAWB. Shipment record. The shipment record serves the purpose of evidence of contract other than airway bill. This is document or copy preserved by any party. Cargo contract. Cargo contract simply defines that there is an agreement between the parties for settlement and transportation of the consignment. Cargo receipts. Receipt of cargo is a document handed over to one party by other in paper unless substituted to e-airway bill which specifies that the shipment has been accepted and it's ready for carriage. Warehouse receipts. Warehouse receipts are the documents that is provided by one party to another and acknowledging the consignments as freight on hand for carriage. It must have number 1 weight and number of pieces, second time, date and place, and third reference the identification number. FWB. It is digital equivalent of the front of the paper AWB. EAW. Electronic airway bill without pouch in which all papers are turned into electronic messages. ECC. This is electronic contract carriage, one of the special handling codes inserted by airlines automatically. EAP. Electronic airway bill with pouch in which there is still a paper pouch with documents along with the electronic message. RCS. Receive cargo shipment, which means that the consignment has been received physically and is ready for carriage. Working of e-airway bill. As per the regulations of International Air Transport Association, the e-airway bill can be implemented in two ways: immediate cargo receipt delivery system and deferred cargo receipt delivery system. Immediate cargo receipt delivery system. In this system, the freight forwarder and airlines have to sign an agreement known as Electronic Airway Bill Agreement before the implementation, once at corporal level for relaxation from hitches of multiple e-airway bill agreements locally. In this system, the freight forwarder sends an electronic message to the airlines before offering shipment and also before flight departure. In response to this, the carrier accepts the consignment in their system as ready for carriage and sends electronic message to freight forwarder and set up the cargo contract. Also, it provides the receipt to the forwarder. Deferred cargo receipt delivery system. In this system, also the freight forwarder and airlines have to sign an e-airway bill agreement before the implementation of e-airway bill once at corporate level for relaxation from hitches of multiple e-airway bill agreements locally. The freight forwarder sends an electronic message to the airlines before offering shipment and before the flight departure. The carrier under this system receives the shipment as freight on hand and a warehouse receipt is being provided to the freight forwarder. This warehouse receipt acts as an interim cargo receipt till the time the carrier can produce EDI based cargo receipt. The carrier accepts the shipment in their system as ready for carriage and sends the message generated electronically to freight forwarder, which tends to set up the cargo contract. Now I will discuss about the implementation of e-airway bill or EAWB. There are countries around the world where same international treaties have been implemented. So, the electronic e-airway bill is also implemented to their origin and destination countries where same international sanctions are implemented. The countries where Warsaw Convention and amended Montreal Protocol 4, also known as MP4 or MC99, which is known as Montreal Convention 1999, are implemented. These protocols also serve as the secure legal foundation for electronic airway bill. Warsaw Convention. The standardization in the rules of international carriage of passengers, baggage and cargo by airways was signed on 12th October 1929 during Warsaw Convention. Certain provisions which were made in this convention are as under: standardization in contents and legal implication of a consignment note or airway bill, duties of carrier, rights of the consignee, duties and rights of consignor, legal liabilities of carrier and consignee, claim for the consignment. Now I will discuss about the Montreal Protocol 4 and the Montreal Convention 1999. The Montreal Protocol, which is also known as MP4, acts as an amendment for the convention held at Warsaw on 12th October 1929. This convention dealt with the unification of rules relating to the international carriage by airways. This protocol was amended on 28th September 1955 at The Hague. The amendment took place in the light to modernize and reconsolidate the Warsaw Convention. Ultimately, the new convention took place for the unification of certain rules for international carriage by airways, MC99, which is known as Montreal Convention of 1999. The most favorable and secure legal foundation for electronic freight as well as electronic airway bill was provided in this treaty. There is one technical which is a significant difference also between the MC99 and MP4. Before using electronic airway bill, the MP4 requires the consent of freight forwarder. All stakeholders involved in the process of supply chain management should be very clear that the countries which are involved in the transaction of the transporting the consignment must have endorsed the same treaty, which clearly means that the participating countries must have approved MP4 or MC99. The MP4 was implemented on 14th June 1998 and MC99 was implemented on 4 November 2003. One should keep in mind that IATA e-freight program is an optional program. It is purely up to the stakeholders how they should document and ship the consignment from one country to another, which may or may not be an e-freight IATA destination. IATA provides the recommended tools for the accomplishment of its e-freight and EAWB programs through its sanctions to the particular country. It verifies that the nations which are involved in IATA e-freight program shall accept the use of these tools at their borders. If it is confirmed that a particular country is a signatory of MP4 or MC99, then it would become sure that the country would definitely accept IATA EAWB. Such sanctions, however, do not affect any legality with regard to cargo insurance to and from those countries. Now I will discuss about the system integration for EAWB. From technology perspective, there are two ways for the implementation of the EAWB or A-Waybill. EDI option. In this option, both the parties, that is airlines and forwarders, use the electronic data interchange messages for the transmission of the all records which are described in the electronic A-Waybill. Second, through web portal option. This is an alternate method to the electronic data interchange option. In this option, airlines provides web-based access for forwarders. With the help of this option, the freight forwarder can accept the terms and conditions of the A-Waybill. It also views the ready for carriage information accepted by the carrier for the freight. Besides storage and display of the information, it also prints the cargo receipt. Now I will discuss about the requirements for carrier and forwarder for EAWB implementation. The following things are required for the implementation of EAWB or E-Airwaybill by a carrier or forwarder. There are two options, for EDI option and for the web-based option. Number one, for EDI option, technology requirements are technology which would help to retrieve all FWB messages. Technology would help to transmit all FSU/RCS messages. Technology which enables electronic archival capability of FWB and FSU or RCS messages. Technology which would help to print cargo receipt on demand. For the web-based option, technology requirement is on the web portal, the carrier must have the technology which supports all functioning. That is, should have the function to allow forwarders to accept all terms and conditions, should have the option for entering the A-Waybill data, should have capability to print cargo receipt, should have the function to store and share the shipment information, should have the option to view ready for carriage information. Lastly, detailed procedure to handle the E-Waybill shipment. Now I will discuss about the EAWB acceptance process. For EAWB IATA's program, one needs to visit IATA website for the following steps. Step 1. Visit www.iata.org/EAWB and access EAB Quick Reference Guide for Forwarders or Carriers, CSC Recommended Practice 1670, EAWB Functional Specification. Step 2. Second most important task is to identify the critical technology enhancement needed for the implementation of EAWB in the office. There is technical readiness assessments guide available on IATA website to identify any gaps. Step 3. Next task is to set up standard operating procedure to develop and test the EAWB. This SOP should describe each and every aspect to handle EAWB consignment step by step. Step 4. For the implementation of EAWB, the carrier is required to submit the signed EAWB agreement to IATA. This agreement allowed to measure EAWB adoption at global level by all stakeholders. After that, the EAWB agreement is signed at corporate headquarter level to avoid multiple agreements at local levels. Step 5. EAWB rollout is prepared, and for smooth transition, one should train all personnel who would be involved in the daily handling of EAWB shipment and prepare contingency chart to minimize interruption in the daily routine work. Step 6. EAWB shipment commences. Now I will discuss about the EAWB 360. To encourage airlines, ground handlers, freight forwarders to adopt EAWB and to build stakeholder readiness at selected airports, IATA has started EAWB 360 call to action initiative for coordinated engagement and communication activities. Three pillars of this campaign are single process, airport SOP and communication. Single process. Under EAWB 360, all international and domestic airlines are ready to use single process at EAWB 360 selected airports. Airport SOP. As per the EAWB 360 airports, there should be common airport SOPs. Communication. This is one of the main channel for smooth and hassle-free functioning. The synchronized and coordinated communication and other activities shall be done between IATA and the airlines. All processes promotes the use of EAWB as preferred message for shipment to all destinations from EAWB 360 airports. Now I will discuss the EAWB link, the basic industry tool designed for small and medium sized freight forwarders is EAWB link to become EAWB capable. EAWB link is connected to over 120 airlines, which helps to reduce costs, improve efficiency and also to enhance data quality. Some points to remember are that if the origin and destination countries endorse e-freight, then there is no need to inform the local customs authority about the implementation of EAWB. Otherwise, the non-e-freight countries must have sanctioned Montreal Protocol 4 or and Montreal Convention 1999. Also, local customs authorities must be willing to accept EAWB, but IATA in turn recommends that the carrier must inform the local customs authorities at origin and destination about the upcoming implementation of EAWB. If any party has limited technical capabilities, still it can implement the EAWB bill provided it should have the access to an online web portal provided by its partners that allow it to accept term and conditions, print cargo receipt, share shipment details, etc. A complete list of parties who is ready to implement EAWB with the destination and origin countries is available on IATA website. In 2010, the model agreement for EAWB was published, which should be signed by the parties before implementation of EAWB. This agreement is available on IATA website. An overview of business rules, process and electronic messages that support EAWB has been developed and published by IATA, which is referred as EAWB Functional Specifications. Now I will summarize the entire module. Airline industry besides passenger transportation is very much involved in cargo transportation, both in domestic as well as in international market. Nowadays, due to increase in volume of domestic and international cargo, many airlines have started fully fledged air cargo flights in operation. EAWB, Electronic Airway Bill, is an advanced replacement of paper airway bill. The transportation of cargo consignment involves hefty documentation. EAWB is initial step towards e-freight, which saves money, time and makes complete paperless supply chain. If we talk globally, currently EAWB penetration is at 14%. Since 2008, IATA has been very successful in implementing e-tickets for passengers. Likewise, it has great plans for fully paperless air freight operation known as e-freight. One of the problems which experts found is that parties do not see an immediate benefit in upgrading their system to switch to EAWB. This results two-tier approach where airlines with modern system shall go with EAWB and those with old system shall continue with the traditional airway bill until they decide to change their process. Adoption of EAWB helps to increase productivity, save costs, enhance reliability and allow for compliance with regulatory standards. 95% of the world's trade lanes, including Thailand, do not need paper for EAWB. Not only this, Thailand has become country which has 100% clearance system with them. At the end, I would like to say that as people around the world become increasingly concerned with sustainability, the air cargo industry has to make some changes to its business. E-Airway Bill is the first step towards achieving e-freight, replacing the paper airway bill with an electronic message. So, the onus lies on us how to increase its penetration. Thank you and have a great future.